an amazing opportunity for me to be able to have a chat with, you know, a formidable Bristol voice. My family grew up in Bishopston, from a Pakistani mother, Russian father, mixed heritage household, and to see you as a poet and a public speaker and an activist kind of bringing to light these stories, the histories of Bristol's diverse communities, and these communities that are often disregarded or overlooked or underfunded, exactly. It is inspiring, and it is such an important light to shed. And exactly, it does give motivation to young people to see role models in these communities like yourself, kind of standing behind us, standing behind young people and saying, you know, go out there and make the change for yourself.
That's what's interesting, is if they can be, in a sense, activated and actually see that they can be the change makers, because they are the change. That's the thing. You are the change makers. Yeah, the young are the future. I have to make the change. So that's what's exciting for me this time round. Last time, 2016, I sat back, I watched it. I've seen it happen before. That wasn't really the first time. Social media brought it to the, put a huge furore around it. People got involved, and literally 3 weeks later, people were chasing Pokemon Go up and down the pavement. So Black Lives Matter change went from this whole energy for a movement about racism, people being killed by the police, which has been going on, like, it just hasn't stopped. So that's the thing with it. Isn't like people are trying to address something that's new. It's something that has never stopped. Yeah. And that's what's so painful with the whole journey. I didn't pay any attention for the first 5-6 days when this happened. All this was going on around me, and I was like, oh, here we go again. Yeah, here we go again. Like, and also, here we go again in the US of A. Do you know what the children are suffering here in England today? You know, a young boy got killed in my community. He got stabbed 2 weeks ago Sunday. He died just over a week ago Wednesday. And this is because of institutional racism. This is because of the racism shown in Bristol by Avon and Somerset Police. This is because of the racism that's accepted in Bristol by Bristol City Council. Yeah, we have certain communities here that have been so marginalised that the sharp end of it, literally, and there's no pun intended, is the fact that where children see they have no opportunity or access to be part of the whole, they're trapped in a very small toxic space. And the end result is they end up killing each other. And this is the other end of Black Lives Matter. Yeah, we see certain things on the news, it's sensationalized because it's a police officer's done it or something's come up there. But we have to look at the situations that create the environments that children grow where they believe there's no chance for them in this world. Yeah. That the environments are so violent that to protect themselves, they carry weapons that they shouldn't be carrying. But people, yeah, but no, it's fear. This is about society. Today, I'll walk down the street today, how many people will I count that touch their wallet, touch their purse, touch their key pocket? Yeah, all these micro movements make you, especially when you're younger, they make you angry because you haven't done nothing, you're walking down the pavement, but you can see that there's this fear or this difference around you, and all of this needs to be addressed. There's no new laws needed. Every law exists to protect all of us. But for some reason, these laws are not actioned for Black people. And this has to be really addressed because we're not looking for a new law. We're looking for representations of laws that people fought for and died for, have passed through parliaments and to governments, have been put into legislation, but for some reason they're still not being actioned. Come on, stop it now. Yeah. It's really time to, for me, it's really time to stop this. Yeah, the political game, no, children die. Play politics. I'm sorry, but fuck your politics. Yeah, children are dying every single day. And people want to talk about these different things or mechanisms. No, the mechanisms are simple. Racism is killing children. Yeah, and racism has created a position where children are killing themselves. Everybody can see it. Let's address it. So let's take the power out of the politicians and the people that have created no change. Right now, everybody's talking because the statue fell on its face, right? Really, that's all that's going on, right? This is what happened. Black Lives Matter popped up. It was doing its rounds. It was okay. But then a statue fell that nobody expected to fall. I know you all looked at Bristol back then. I know most of them didn't probably even know where Bristol was. But the whole world right now does. And if they check into it properly, you see that Bristol is instrumental in the creation of what we know as the transatlantic slave trade. So if it all has to, if the beginning of it all falling has to start where it started, that in itself is poetic. But the energy, the young people, I think, can push it. But the young people need a lot of support.
Do you think that kind of collaboration is something that occurs only organically, or is there certain things that can happen, or alliances that can be made in order to kind of continue this energy, or unite this energy for change, for real structural change?
The acceleration in well, I can talk of Bristol, like with the Golden Circle, which is the mile all around the university in the centre of Bristol. It's beautiful, affluent, accelerating. It's like, it's the future. But outside of that space, it's like the Badlands. There's just deprivation, there's poverty, there's hunger. But the city advertises the Golden Circle. That's what the people see. But what's happening out here in the wider margins? That's where we've got a big problem. And I think even with the thing around racism, to do with the statues, you come off the race, you come to class. And the divide between the classes is incredible. And what I think is quite frightening on the mass this time around, which is different. I think what's different this time for Europeans is to do a bit of the fear around Brexit, fear around Corona, and that's travelled into the Black Lives Matter. And that's made it actually a lot more multicultural. So the worry this time, I think, is, oh my God, look at all these white people that are concerned. So they're coming together, but this could put the classes together, put the groups together, because actually what's happening there was everybody is having their neck kneeled on by the higher levels of society. In certain controlling factors, all of the institutions, but I think their fear at the moment is that people might actually bond together. Difference might actually come together. And if it does, there's anything is possible.
Exactly, harnessing this youth energy, and like you said, the city of Bristol itself is very regenerative and holds a lot of its own power, and hopefully we can see that translation into the marginalized communities as well, taking that power back for themselves. I don't know if you're seeing any of those shifts, or...
I'm going to be honest. What I've seen in Bristol is that the voice is being controlled. I do what I do because I'm independent. I can do what I want. So it's fun. A lot of people need to get paid. They need to get money through certain streams, funding streams. And I believe in Bristol, that is very controlled. And I mean very controlled. So you're not talking a certain narrative that the city kind of wants to hear, or the city partners want to hear. They don't invest in it. The money won't find itself to what you are doing. And what I've seen in the last few years is it seems that the voice is being more controlled by the city. And even when you come to the statue, so you can get to the statue wasn't even the problem. No one in the city believed you could get that statue in. So it was never a question. The question, first of all, was can we change some of the wording on the plaque? And all they wanted to change was about 40 letters. 40 letters to add on there something like they were involved in the transatlantic slave trade, the removal of so many, they had downplayed the number, so many Africans. That couldn't get done. We have got the first democratically elected mayor of African Caribbean descent in the city of Bristol. Things haven't got better. Yeah, but the fact that they haven't addressed this in the last 10 days, the fact that they're just going through selling the Rastafarian Cultural Centre, yeah, that was given to the community at the Martin Thomas Centre after Martin Thomas was beaten to within an inch of his life, what, 25 years ago, in a racist attack on the Downs in Bristol. Yeah, what in a year where Black lives are meant to matter, is the year that you take away the Martin Thomas building. It's the year that you sell the Rastafarian Centre. It's the same year that you won't address other issues here. So we're hurting more than ever. We have an administration of people in place that should actually be talking for us for the first time ever. But your silence cuts deeper than anything we felt before. And it always seems that when they put someone in front that looks like you get hurt the most.
This exactly speaks to this idea that has been a huge part of the spark in the movement this time, is performative action. And there's a massive gap between seeing, you know, exactly the statue being put in a museum, but how does that translate to positive structural change? And I'm sure we see it not just only in councils or administration, but in every level of society. So many organizations, companies made comments that we don't see, and I'm sure in many communities in Bristol will feel a betrayal because they don't see that follow through with actual change.
I think people are too comfortable, and they moan or complain or say things, but it's for conversation. And you hear it, oh, you know this, yeah, and you watch what's that. But what are you doing to any of this? It's good conversation, but when you're doing it, you live in a comfortable existence. And what I'm seeing with a lot of the Black Lives Matter, and I wonder if this is in other places, you're seeing, like I say, Bristol City Council put it all on the bottom of all their emails. They've got on everything they've got on. I've known several people that have said, can you please take it off there because you're not supporting the campaign? Yeah. I think a lot of people are being caught out at the moment. I think a lot's been revealed. That's why I said, when you got the buildings, you could be there, I could say, come in, we're going to do a restructuring communities, we're going to talk about this or that, and everybody turns up, gets their picture taken, puts it on social media. It's like, we're active, we're doing stuff, but you weren't. You sat in there, you ate sandwiches, drank wine and juice. Yeah, probably all got searched £100 to £250 to be sat in the meeting. You all had a good old chin wag because they're your friends, and off you go again. The thing is, in the last couple of years, I've been to some of these meetings. I just sat in there like that. I've lived in more or less the same community in Bristol my whole life, and it's always been the most deprived. So who am I voting for? Because nobody made a difference. Yeah, because they don't see this certain level of class. And it's going to take time, it's going to take generations. But you keep saying everybody, we're working towards a better place. Stop watching them and let's see what we can do.
Obviously, you're very invested and a huge part of the poetry community and the artistic community in Bristol. I was just wondering if you could tell me a little bit more about your roles in those communities and that industry and activism.
I grew up in and around like St. Paul's, Eastern, from a young age, and that's where like Bristol sound system culture come from. It's a very marginalised community, so you couldn't go out. Like if you went out, you followed, you looked, so you just feel threatened outside the community. So it built. So you learn not to ask for permission because you're never going to get told yes anyway. So you just do for yourself, and you just get on with it. So we couldn't get into nightclubs, so people put speakers and systems on the street. So we looked, DJs, this artist just put it on the wall. You just went and did it. In the end, it was just like, you're just going to do it. I'm not asking permission, you know. And people, oh, no, sometimes what you write, what you should know, you see now it's. If I don't get a reaction from something come right, I don't know why I wrote it. You know, it's like art is meant to create a conversation. You don't have a conversation about what art should be. And that's where it's gone a bit wrong in Bristol. So I'm trying to bring it back. I'm trying to let people know, just go out there and do it. But the problem is so much of it now comes through people. I think money's the ability to get money to perform, the ability to get money to create art or works, I believe, has destroyed so much the creativity of what the art should be. Because people are having to put their ideas through other people who have to okay whether they think that your idea is worthy. Nah, I think you don't need that. And I think that's where it's going wrong. I think they've realized that people can see that art is powerful. I don't think they believed it was as powerful as it is. And now they're trying to control another aspect of where people can challenge what is going on. So, and that's me talking just from a Bristol perspective, because that's what I'm aware of and I can see really clearly. And the art can create change. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy shaking the tree. I've never believed in the system. And I think over time you can see more. I think over my history of doing my work, I think I allowed people to see that you can just speak your truth. Not going to be everybody's truth. See, I don't mind upsetting you. I can't make everybody happy. I know that. I'm not going to make everybody happy with what I'm saying.
Just finally, I mean, your insights have been amazing, and it's very powerful, and these are conversations that need to be had. And exactly, I think, like you said, there's a fear in order to change power, people have to give up power. So I just wanted to ask for your final reflections on, I know you've talked about Bristol and its political power in the next 6 months, a year, but within the whole international Black Lives Matter movement, what do we need to see going forward, or what can we see going forward for the city as well as the international movement?
Oh, it's difficult, isn't it? I think people need to come together. It's like lives matter, Black lives matter, right? And I get it when people say all lives matter. Yeah, all lives do matter. But Black men are being murdered there's not an argument, yeah? There's a group in society who are marginalised beyond anybody else. And people have to accept that this is going on, and people should understand. But I think people need to come together. But we need to stop believing in the powers that have been before, because this is for all of us, everybody across. People are being abused in all societies, all around the world, by different mechanisms. There's so much pain in this world. And what are we doing about it? And that's the reality. Humanity needs to fucking fix up. And humanity needs to really care and not keep pretending. Yeah. There's so much pain out there. Let us who can make a difference for everybody else. Don't believe in the old systems because they're selfish as fuck. Sorry for my language, yeah, but it is. It's all about gain, and we're better than that. But have fun with it. That's the thing. Yeah, I get angry. I'm a passionate person anyway, so usually rage is always what charges me.
Yeah.
I filter it through, and in the end, it's like, right, and we make mischief, and we tickle some people, make them feel uncomfortable. Yeah, it's all about getting them out of their comfort zones.